Hello friends and welcome back to another episode of Vanilla Plus Survival. It is episode 53. How are you guys doing? I am doing great. Before we start this episode, I need to say something about this intro. This intro is actually recorded well into the future. I originally recorded episode 52 a long time ago, several months ago, and I just never released it because I wasn't feeling it for some weird reason. And I finally got into the groove where I want to actually post videos again, and I didn't want to let this episode go to waste because I built a mob farm in this episode, and I discovered something cool about mob spawning and mob farms in a desert that I wanted to talk about. And I was gonna release the episode how it was originally, and I realized I forgot to add something to the editing. I forgot to add a tweet that I made to El Mango, asking him a question about this weird mob spawning I was finding in deserts from the mob farm. And that resulted in me forgetting to put that in the video, like I said, and I was rewatching it, and I was like, I don't like this explanation, it's really bad, so I'm just gonna cut it out and redo it in the future. So I'm gonna go do that right now, re-record that section, and explain some of the things that were said in the video, as well as re-edited it, and hopefully upload it today so I can release it on Monday. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that. So it's gonna be a little bit of a weird episode because it's gonna be like not all over the place, but different. It's not gonna be it's gonna be strange because it's gonna be like, oh, he's recording some of it in the past and some of it in the future, so I apologize. I just wanted to make a couple changes to it. So now with that said, let's get into this episode, and we're going to do a really hard jump cut to the next part of this episode, which is me going to my witch farm to show you some of the progress I was doing over at that witch farm, even though I already showed you some of that progress in the last episode. So let's do that hard jump cut right now. Every time I come here, I love this place. It is so nice, I would say. And I hope you guys also agree. But I was over here doing some work, actually. Some progress work. And it was actually kind of redesigning or refurbishing the witch farm. Let's go over here and kind of show you it. So the design I originally used was by El Mango. I wish I had a night vision potion, but I don't. So that kind of sucks. The original design for the witch farm I used was by El Mango. And this one is also by El Mango, but this one is actually a little bit better than the slime block one that used the slime blocks to push up the floors. And this one is an old concept of a shifting floor witch farm. So originally back in 1.8, when soul sand would get like switched around, like you would push it with a piston, you would fall through the block, because soul sand is actually not one block high. It's like less, like a few blocks less, like I can show you right here. So let me get over here and put 2 blocks down and pull up F3 really quick. So like right here, you can see I'm standing at 64 right up here. Why 64? When you go over here, it's like 0.225 less. So when this block would move, entities would fall through, and they fixed that in 1.9, I believe, or 1.8. I think it was 1.9, and so that got rid of it. But what was discovered, not by El Mango, but by someone else, I do believe, he just used the idea into a witch farm again, that because this block is lower than this block, if the floor shifts and the mob doesn't move, they will fall through it. They will glitch through it and fall through it. So that's how this works. And the trapdoors, they actually allow mobs to spawn because their hitboxes, hostile mobs' hitboxes are actually less than a trapdoor. So they're allowed to fall through the floor like that. So that's how that works. So now that I've gotten a little bit of that out of the way, I also should just drop off this little bit of gunpowder right over here. No, that's sticks. And it should be right. It's that one. There we go. Over there. Let me go back to base. And there is a skeleton in here. You're not supposed to be in here. You silly. Probably need a torch right there then. Let me go back to base. And let's start this episode off with reminding you guys what we did in the last episode. So in the last episode, we began working on this little sand village right outside my base over here, which is very nice. As you can see, it's very expansive and it's going to require a lot of resources, and it's going to take some time. I already began working on this path over here in the ground. I was going to do that in today's episode a little bit, but I still actually need to work on it a little bit and think it through more. I also, off camera, gathered some resources. I need to get more rockets. Gathered some more resources, like I gathered some oak wood, I gathered a lot of spruce stuff, leaves, and some birch for a little bit of birch we're going to be using in today's episode. I still need to do the interior, and I will be doing that a little bit later. But today, we're actually going to be working on something over here. And for the main reason that I kind of needed to have this for a very long time, I just never did. So we have a big hole right here, and this is going to be our giant pyramid that I'm planning to build. So this is going to be like the mainstay of this old village. This is like their main temple of worship or something like that. Some kind of lore like that. And I decided I should actually make it useful a little bit. And I got to thinking I should turn this into a mob farm down here. Because I had a mob farm in my base originally, but I decided to take it out because it kind of made my base a little bit too laggy with all the water updates and such. So I removed it, and we haven't really had a nice staple of a nice mob farm that provides us with materials. So I decided I think we should make one. I actually know what design I want to go with. It's by Gnembon MC. It is a very good design, and it's really fast and really nice. We're going to have to light up the area for sure around here, obviously, and around this city to make it actually more efficient. But I think I'm going to begin working on that. I will leave a link to his video in the description down below. It's a very good video, and it's very helpful in trying to build this. And one other thing is, I will be building the shulker box packer down here, because we're going to store the items in shulker boxes like I've been always doing now ever since I have a mass supply of shulker boxes in a cheaty manner, which hopefully will be fixed in 1.13. I'll be actually storing the shulker boxes in these houses, I got to thinking, because we have so much room under the ground. I can use these houses to actually store some shulker boxes and put some chests in them and be able to actually have a purpose for them. So that's going to be kind of cool. So let me actually get building up a little bit on this farm, and then I'll come back to you guys once I have that completed. Have at least part of it completed. After an hour and a half of digging 4 blocks extra for this little cave, the hole for the mob farm, I should say, I am now beginning to work on placing the blocks for the actual spawning pads of the farm. And there is 10 layers to this place. Each of them is a flushing layer, so it's a flushing mob system. And it's really cool because Gnembon came up with this. It's really lag efficient, and it uses observers and dispensers going upwards and downwards, so it dispenses the water will be dispensed outwards when your timer at the top goes off. It's also really cool because some other flushing systems like Il Mango's mob farm that is actually similarly based to this one, it's a flushing mob system, but the problem is it does it where the observer observes the water, I think, and that can get out of sync, I do believe. I'm actually not sure if that is the case. Don't quote me on that. But this one, it's much easier. It's not... I prefer at this one because his tutorial was a little bit better. But either one is pretty good. And this one just has a simpler timer and a simpler killing system. So, the killing system is fall damage, but for our purposes, I'm going to be having to use magma blocks because we are not at a high enough height to actually kill the mobs from fall damage. So that's going to be a part of the issue. And we're funneling them into a little hole. It's I think it's a 4x4 hole. Yeah, it's a 4x4 or a 5x5 hole. Yeah, it's a 5x5 to actually kill the mobs in a drop shoot. So that's the thing. Now that I have explained a little bit of what's going on, I'm just going to build up the rest of these, like, I think 6 layers I have left, and begin working on a little bit of the item collection system, and I will get back to you guys with that after it has been completed. And just a little quick update. The water streams have been established in this area, so it is a little bit too big, I would say, for this actual space. Oh, and there's a lot of mobs. We're going to need to light up this place a lot. So, they fall down after getting pushed off, and they fall in here, and they will be going into this area right over here to die and be picked up with minecarts with hoppers. Already have the system down here. I need to get more hoppers, aka I need to make more. So I need to do that. And we're going to have a little water stream. It's going to be an ice stream that goes over this way. Or maybe it goes probably this way, maybe around, because we have enough room down here to actually make the shulker box packer. So I'll make the shulker box packer on this level. And then the shulker boxes will be probably, like, the packers will be spread out a little bit, so that the shulker boxes can't be mixed in any way, shape, or form, and then they will be sent out to a certain house where it will be stored and collected. And witch drops are going to actually come from this place too. We won't have a shulker box packer for that, and there will go to another separate area, another house to be stored and kept. So, I am going to finish this area right here, and once that is done, I'll also have the shulker box packers up as well. And then we can continue on working on building the actual, what is it called? I'm going to be actually building the desert temple, the giant pyramid. So let's get on right to it. As you can see, I got the mob farm built, and the system is very efficient. A lot of mobs are spawning, and it is looking absolutely great. So I am going to really quick just explain everything about what is going on in this farm. And I just need to pull something up really quick to look at it. Sorry about that. But the mob spawning the farm is working absolutely wonderfully. And I'm just going to quickly try and explain everything that's going on. I'm going to go into spectator mode. I've already... Spectator mode, there we go. And just show you what's going on. So, I'm not going to show anything up on the top because that's spoilers for the rest of this episode, because I'm doing this in the future, as I said in the beginning of the episode. So, let me take a quick gander of what is going on here. So, this observer line is directly connected to the timer, and every time the timer goes off, this redstone block gets spit out here, and it activates 2 systems, the randomizer and the hopper unloading system right here. The hopper minecart unloading system, and what this does is it activates this little, it pushes the blocks over here, activates the hopper minecarts to go back and forth, and if there's items, it will turn off this redstone torch, stopping the hopper minecarts to set onto the hopper, and a little observer clock goes on dispensing all the items. This randomizer is to activate this water pushing system right here, this trapdoor water pushing system. And basically I have a wooden sword, and as you can see, that chose the wooden sword and activated the water pushing system. And then it has a 33% chance of choosing a sword and 66% chance of choosing either one of these two. It's 33% chance, but there's a 66% chance that it doesn't activate when the clock goes off, which is totally fine. And why is this here? Well, as you already know, the fall isn't large enough to kill mobs, so we have to have the magma blocks here. And that's a problem when it comes to witches. So witches actually will drink a fire resistance potion and won't die from the magma blocks because they have to have a certain height to fall on and die. Well, if we go over here, this system pushes the witches over here to die over here through entity cramming and be pushed. The items go into the sorter through this water elevator into the sorter, and the other items as well get collected over here and thrown into the sorter. Witches, from what Gnembon found as well, they don't despawn when they have a potion effect, so I can't allow them to despawn. It just doesn't work that way. So I can't just hope for them to despawn and not take up the mob cap. I have to have them killed. The cactuses right here is for spiders. If they pathfind and try and climb up this way, they get killed by the cactus. It happens occasionally, and it's very annoying. We might see it by the time I'm done with this section. We have our items over here. I did 2 nights of AFKing, so about 16 hours, and I'm going to show you the drops and explain to you something I found very interesting that the technical community actually didn't know. So, as you can see, we have a lot of gunpowder, a lot of arrows, a good amount for the amount of time we AFK'd. But you might also notice that we have more arrows and bones, and that's a little bit weird. And I was like, okay, that's a little bit weird. And then I saw this. There's only 6 rotten flesh boxes, and originally when I first checked it, it was only 3 for 8 hours of AFKing. I was like, that's strange. Why is that? So I contacted Ilmango through a tweet. And I'll put the tweet up right here. And I basically asked him about the fact that I think I found a mob spawning bug. And I was like, I don't understand. I don't know why zombies aren't spawning in this desert this desert underground. Like, they spawn everywhere else, and they're just not spawning here. Did I find a bug? And he just basically said, as you can read, it's not a bug, it's actually intended by how husks spawn. So, for those that don't know, a husk is just a zombie type, not a zombie type anymore. It looks like a zombie, but it's not a zombie, it's its own individual mob. But I'll put a picture up here of what the wiki says about it. A husk has an 80% chance of spawning after a zombie, like this zombie right here, is chosen to be spawned by the algorithm. The algorithm has to re-roll and try and spawn another zombie. And when that happens, it has to meet a couple factors, and that factor is based off of the skylight. So this light right here. Light level sky 0. If this is 0, husk can't spawn. So that means, what that means is, if that criteria is not met and a husk is tried to be spawned, it won't spawn. Thus, zombies will not be taking up some of the mob cap. Thus, they will not be spawning that much, and more skeletons, spiders, and creepers will spawn. Thus, that's why we have much more drops. And I think skeletons and zombies have the same spawn rate, so there's more skeleton drops because there's more skeletons actually being chosen to spawn as well. So, yeah, that is the cool thing I discovered. If Ilmango ever sees this video, I would like to thank Ilmango for actually responding. I am kind of flabbergasted that I discovered something that no other technical Minecrafter discovered. Oh, also these are the witches drops. And it just makes me so happy that I discovered something that no one ever has found until that point. Ilmango has a video down below of a better explanation. Ilmango has a better video of this kind of stuff, and I'll link that in the description down below as well. So if you want to watch that to get a better explanation of why building a mob farm in in the desert is much better, then go click on that video and watch that video. So anyway, now that this is done, let's get back into the regularly scheduled episode. It looks pretty good so far. I still gotta add in a couple more fences, like right up here, and put torches on it. Still have to do a few more of the sides, so it is right here and right there where we'll put the torches. Can I get it? Oh, I only have 1 torch. I've been actually collecting all the torches around the area that surround this to actually get them. So It looks pretty nice, I will say. I need to go get some glowstone really quick. Or, yeah, glowstone for the area I have leaves. There's leaves down in this little trench area right here. So I need to dig this down like one more. And put the glowstone. So that is the plan right now. And then build up the last 2 layers. And then the roof. Yeah, I'm looking at a picture right now. The roof. It's going to be a little bit challenging, I would say, but that's fine. There's one thing I'm going to show you really quick before I head off to my witch farm, the witch farm. I do know there's 2 shulker boxes of glowstone, and I know I don't have enough glowstone up in the storage right now to actually finish that project. But as you can see, I did some mapping off camera. This was like before the last clip, but I decided not to show it because I kind of forgot about it. But I'm gonna map up this is a zoomed in map twice, so it is a scale 2. We can actually take that one off. As you can see, it's scale, it's like a 50% scale, and look at that. That is kind of cool. I really like this one a lot, so I'm gonna put that somewhere. But I think what we're gonna do later on is we're gonna try and like colonize like this whole map area really, and make buildings go all the way around and such to make it my little city. And I'm gonna be like the mayor or something, or like the king, and that's why my house is right there. So that's like a future plan to think about now. So I'm gonna go into the nether to get to my witch farm, grab the glowstone, and be back finishing up the pyramid, which will be this will be the last jump cut, and we'll just admire the progress thereafter. So I'll see you guys then. I feel like a king right now, but the problem is I don't have any subjects. Man, kind of sucks. But the good news is this pyramid, or whatever it's called, I think it's a pyramid. It's kind of pyramid-like. It's pretty much done. It looks very nice, I will say. We got to get a higher vantage point. If I could fly, there we go. And I should put this in my offhand. And it looks pretty good. The AFK spot, I'm going to be removing that. Don't worry about that. It will be removed because I am planning on AFKing right here. And I'll be putting a trap chest right here that when I open it, it will activate the farm, and when I reopen it again, because I'm probably going to be putting my stuff in there, so that I have to reopen it to deactivate it, and also putting some glass in there, so that I can actually box myself in, because there's one problem with 1.13 when it comes out, and that is the phantom mobs that will be spawning in the sky, and probably kill me if I'm not boxed in, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue at nighttime, but that's okay. I can deal with that. But let us go down to the farm actually, because I've done a little bit down there. Just a few things that I want to show off. There we go, got that word. And just this right here. Right now I actually turned it off. Oh, that's a ton of spiders. That's the only problem with this, is the glass and them falling down and getting put onto the magma blocks. I can't really do anything about that because that's just how it's going to be. But they'll eventually fall down, and when the farm is on, they'll all fall down because mobs will just beep, poo, poo, push them out. But I put these cactuses here for the spiders as well, because when they get pushed over here, they can climb up and get stuck and won't die. So the cactuses right here are to make sure they do die, which is good. And I did put them down one level lower, but the water stream was causing mobs to bob up and down and items to get stuck in these corners of where there's space in between, so I decided to remove that. And just looking at all our supplies, because I did AFK one extra night, and while building this, the whole farm was running. Got a nice amount of gunpowder. Probably won't use a lot of this. No, I probably will, because I will be going through a lot of rockets. And maybe TNT eventually in the future. A lot of arrows, useless. A lot of string for the cactus farm, that's good. So I think we officially have enough string for our cactus farm to begin working on that more. A decent amount of bones. And last but not least, a few shulker boxes of rotten flesh. So that is all I have time for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below and subscribe, and a comment would be greatly appreciated. So until next time, this is a Room MC, and I will see you guys in another episode.